So what you're
You didn't
telling me
want to.
is that because a man that's making a certain amount of money feels comfortable dealing with low value women or women that aren't
How were they low
making
value?
not and I'm going to correct it, that aren't making that same amount of money.
Right. Yeah, men don't really care about that.
Screenshot that.
That's
Screenshot that, yo.
yeah,
No,
that's
this
not
is
even
fair.
no really.
She went out,
That's
but
ain't no way.
Darwin is
You
cool.
men don't
Listen,
really care about that like that. Like
okay,
if men
then
are
if
making that much money, it doesn't really matter. They're not worried about finances. They're absolutely not depending on a woman to
it's
help
not
them with the
about
finances
Okay.
like that.
I don't think it's about
I don't know.
depending.
I
Let
don't
me
know
just
what
say this.
happened.
It's not about depending on a woman, but if you're making just over 100,000, you're not a millionaire. Okay,
That's different.
we're not talking about people who making 300, 400,000. Okay, yeah, okay, but we're talking about little over 100,000 up to 2,000. They're not
No,
just
I was talking
choosing.
about men who
No,
are
he
making
said more than that. He said about
250,000.
$250,000. That's what he said. He said $250,000.
Even if you look up all the billionaires, I looked up all the black ones. They have women who have something going for themselves. It's not like they're going
Because they're
to
billionaires.
Yeah,
They didn't come into the
The rest
relationship
of
already
them
made.
have women who have things going with themselves. So that's incorrect information. And trust me, I researched.
But
You,
what
you're
we're
looking
telling
at
you,
you.
Shan, hold on, Shan.
Did you look at them before they met?
Shan, you're saying it. The
What you mean
problem
look
is
at them before they met? Meaning, if you look at her resume, the schooling, Cordell, the universities they went to, this is not, it's not like, oh, she was working at Mickey D's. I picked her up. You know, I went to the drive-thru, said supersize me, and she was beautiful. And she glared at
That's
me.
not. But that's not the argument we're making. The position I put her in is,
I
and these
understand the argument you're
billionaires,
making.
which that you probably not going to find this information. What the little 19-year-old they hitting from the back on the yacht on Wednesdays
We're
after
talking
they go to
about
the golf course.
wives.
I'm just telling you, you asking for God. I'm telling you, in a patriarchal society, in a capitalistic world, you're asking for the top 5-10% to be able to. You're trying to. That's what I'm saying. How are you able to even pitch a man of that caliber to not exercise his options?
So I think
Why would I have to? Why would I have to? That's it.
because it's
That's what's
extremely
not making
competitive.
sense
It's
overall.
extremely competitive, and there's not
So
that
are
many
you
men to go
asking
It's
what
the
we
around.
would
same for a
say,
woman of
or
that caliber. It would be the same for a
If
woman
you
of
can
that
start,
caliber. It would
if
be
you can
No, it
build,
won't.
okay,
competitive.
It
I'll give you
won't,
this,
because
Casey.
men aren't as interested in women of that caliber. That's the problem. Women are that top 10%.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on that level, all the way down, are attracted to that man, right?
Let me help you out,
Women
Casey.
with
So then I
with the
can
money,
counter
it
that.
doesn't matter. Men
Mm-hmm.
don't really care about that. Not
I
Let me
can
help
nearly as
you
counter
out,
much
that by
Casey.
as they
saying
do about
that
women.
Let
women
me help
of
you
that
out, Casey.
caliber are not interested in a litter full of men either.
Let
So
me help you,
they're
Casey.
even more selective anyway. That's
I'm
probably
going to throw
like
you a bone.
That's
go
and
ahead.
that's what's
I'm going to throw
pricing them
you a
out of the
bone.
market. That's the problem. That's
So
I'm going to
exactly
throw.
the problem. Now you got it.
Hold
That's
on.
why
Let me
they're
throw her a
having a
bone.
problem.
Let me just say this.
Let me throw her a
Go
bone,
ahead.
Go
Shan.
ahead,
Let me
Darwin.
just
No.
throw her a bone because it's hard for her.
Bruiser.
I'm going to throw you a
Go
bone.
ahead.
You got the opportunity in your
Don't throw
pitch.
no bones, bro.
If you in your pitch, here you go. You can recreate yourself over from scratch as the woman, the ideal woman. What would be the details of you? Height, age, virgin, what you can have. You can go just build it. What would you think is the ideal woman that could compel a man of that caliber to throw away his options and focus on you in a monogamous relationship? Go ahead, build her out.
Callie?
so. Before she even answered this, she been talking. She been talking over y'all. That's why she not even saying nothing, because she answered it in a way where. So all right, y'all framing it in a way where the man has no autonomy over his life, and the woman can come in and change his perspective on how he wants to move. If he doesn't
It's
want
not
to be
making
you didn't
monogamous,
frame it
then
that
he
way
doesn't want
either.
to be monogamous. There's no perfect woman that can make a man that don't want to be monogamous. And if he gets
Thank
in a
you.
relationship,
You just have to say
monogamous,
one thing and
because
one
he's
thing
That's
not.
my
only.
So
point.
all she had to say
That's
was,
Hold on, I ain't
I
finished.
wouldn't have anything to say to that man.
I
There's
quite
nothing I can
literally
say to
So
said
that.
that.
so
I
so
quite
so so
I
time
have
literally
out.
things
So
to
said
say
time
to
that.
out,
that man.
Marcus. You know
I
what?
quite literally said I would not do
We're not
that.
even we're not even saying, I'm not even talking about monogamous or not or whatever. All I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure your wife compelled you to be with her, right? In some form or fashion. She compelled you to be with her. She offered certain things that you saw in her that you did not see in other women. You found her to be exceptional, which is why you chose her, because you've been with hundreds or maybe you said thousands or whatever.
I didn't give
one.
one.
All right, or whatever, right? You at least in triple digits, right? Let's just say that, right?
And any
Right.
woman, any woman on the
So,
channel deals
so
with
all right, so dig. If you chose
just
one to be
did,
your
Carmen.
wife, she had to compel you in
I didn't hear
some
it.
way, no matter how
Yeah.
you spin it.
But this is the thing. When I was a younger man, I might have played the game where I really want this woman, so I'll pretend to want monogamy because I want her. When I stepped into being the man that I want to be, hey, this is who I am. Either you can live with me like this or you can't. There's nothing a woman is going to be able to do to convince me to change the person I am.
She didn't convince you, but what certain attributes that she had and certain actions that she either took or didn't take is what compelled you to want to be with her. The way that she behaves around you, there's certain things that you were attracted to that you probably could articulate to the women.
Right,
that's
right.
all we're trying to do. What were the things that you saw in her?
Though.
That's not a different question than what I asked. All I'm saying is that it's competitive, and there's certain attributes that a woman has to have in order for a man of means to want her. That's all we're saying.
That's what essentially what was said though. The question was,
Can you build out the woman for him?
And he could still pass her up. He could still pass her up because he's not ready to settle down. I'm sure out of those 100,000 women that billionaires out there dealing with, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, however many of them have great qualities and are great women and could be great wives, but he is not ready to wife them. It's that simple. Trying to make it seem like there's an ideal token golden wife woman for a man that has a certain amount of money is never going to make sense, because it's never going to happen until that man wants to be monogamous, until that man wants to be loyal, until he wants to live a life of principle. No woman is going to make him change that, so he's going to cheat on anyone he gets.
That's not what we're saying. But even according to your own account, you said that there are some men who you would deal with because that's what they want, right? And the men who don't want to be monogamous, you would keep them out. So that means you recognize that there are some men that would desire to be monogamous.
Absolutely.
So what would you do in those instances to compel that man to want to choose you over all these other men?
You said you don't want to be monogamous. You said that you have all of these women to choose from, and I want to be monogamous. That was your
Who, me? I never said that.
No,
I never said I didn't want to be monogamous. I said I do. Why would I be it with you?
You said you are not. You're good. You're content with where it's at.
No,
most men.
I said pitch to me. I said I want to be monogamous. I just need the right woman to be monogamous with. I want her to pitch to me. Why should I be monogamous when I got all these? What is going to make you so special?
She
for
will
me
do
to
that
throw away
with
my
her
options.
actions.
And Callie said that she was going to build the ideal woman that would pitch to me. What's the pitch, Callie?
The pitch is, I'm going to show you my fucking actions, not my words. Men don't care about what we have to say. They care about what we do. So everything when I am around you, I'm going to be doing. And that is in itself. Oh, I'm on mute.
No, we hear you. I can hear you.
Everything that I'm doing is in itself going to be like, hey, like, this is who I am. Me personally, if I meet you and I like you enough to want to say, hey, look, like, I think it should just be us. I'm just going to tell you straight up, like, drop these hoes, get with me. You won't ever regret that decision. We can work out the kinks later.
What are the actions? I want to hear the actions. What are these actions?
Oh, I'm fun as I think I'm fun as fuck.
You might not want her to say that tonight.
Why couldn't we start with the appearance first?
Appearance. Oh, appearance means a lot.